Welcome back to KTN News Center. We are giving you that in-depth coverage of the death of Tanzanian President John Pombe Magufuli. And so many messages of condolences have been sent. And right now, I'd like to share some of those messages that have been sent by different leaders here in the country. And I'll begin with the message of condolence from ODM party leader, Honorable Raila Odinga, who had a personal relationship with John Pombe Magufuli. He talked about, them having that personal relationship that was very deep. And this is what Honorable Raila Odinga had to say. He says that it is with deep sadness that I have learned of the passing of my friend, President Magufuli. He goes further to say that he and his family have been close friends for a long time. He's been by my side at my most difficult and painful moments. And finally, he tweeted by saying, my condolences to his family and the people of Tanzania. Honorable Raila Odinga right there talking about the deep relationship that they had with John Pombe Magufuli, including the political moments that he had. That's why he's saying that he was by his side. John Pombe Magufuli was by his side at the most difficult and painful moments. So let's look at another message of condolence, and that Bobi Wine, the opposition leader in Uganda. He goes ahead to say that my heartfelt condolences to the people of the United Republic of Tanzania on losing President John Pombe Magufuli. Eternal repose. So that is a message from Bobi Wine, one of the strong opposition leaders in Uganda. And also Nairobi, the Mombasa governor, Hassan Ali Joho, goes ahead to say that the people of Mombasa join our brothers and sisters of the United Republic of Tanzania in mourning the death of the beloved President, Dr. John Pombe Joseph Magufuli. He goes ahead to say that may the Almighty assuage your grief and may he also rest his soul in eternal peace. Amen. So that is a message from Mombasa Governor Hassan Ali Joho, and also Yaga Governor Anne Mombe Waiguru saying that her sincere condolences to the family of the late His Excellency John Pombe Magufuli for losing a husband, a father, and to the people of Tanzania on the loss of their president. She further goes ahead to say that we join the rest of the East Africa community to uphold you in prayer during this difficult time. And so those are just some of the leaders who've joined the President Uhuru Kenyatta early this morning in sending them messages of condolence to the people of Tanzania following the death of their leader, John Pombe Magufuli. But let me bring in a Wiper Party leader, Kalonzo Musyoka, who's also the former Vice President of the Republic of Kenya, just to talk to us about this news. And Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka, good morning, and thank you so much for joining us here on KTN News Center this morning. Definitely, it's not a good morning for the, East Africa community, especially for the people of Tanzania following, waking up to this sad news of the death of their president.
Well, thank you, Brenda. Indeed, it's a very sad morning, and not just for Tanzanians, but all of us in the East African region, the East African community countries, all of us, including, I'm sure, Rwanda, Burundi, South Sudan, Uganda, Kenya, and of course, Tanzania. But it is our friends in Tanzania who are feeling the biggest loss. So we join them and offer our most sincere condolences to the family of our late brother John Pombe Magufuli, and indeed to all the Tanzanians. Tuwasema poleni sana wa Tanzania ndugu zetu. Hili ni pigo kubwa, sio tu kwa Tanzania, bali pia Afrika Mashariki nzima. And I want to thank and congratulate President Uhuru for ordering that the national flag in Kenya will come down for seven days, as well as the East African flag in his capacity as the chair of the summit of the East African community. So our deepest condolences.
So talk to us about the personal relationship that you had with the late president.
Well, I think I got to know President Magufuli more through our brother Raila Odinga, particularly as Raila recalls during his most difficult time when we lost Fidel. I recall that Magufuli was actually sent by President Kikwete to represent Tanzania at that funeral of our son Fidel. And I, of course, I was on speaking terms. I remember calling him severally on telephone very, very easygoing personality, but one who believed that his country came first. And I think that this can be explained by the fact that he spent all the time in Tanzania, hardly ever traveling out, because he felt the issues that he needed to resolve. Of course, he was an icon when it came to infrastructure. I heard my party chair, Balozi Mwakwere, speaking, I think, on telephone from Kwale, highlighting that President Magufuli, taking over from President Kikwete, did quite a lot in terms of building infrastructure. And both of them served, I think, as ministers responsible for infrastructure, representing their two countries. So I didn't have that personalized touch, but he was open to discussion whenever we called him. So we will miss him in the region, and I think this is clear that the whole region is suffering, is feeling the grief and the terrible loss of such a prominent leader.
All right.
John Pombe Magufuli.
All right, and you know, when the president in the morning was addressing the nation, not only the Kenyans at large, but also the East African community, because he's the chair of the ESC, he described Magufuli as a personal friend and, most importantly, as a pan-Africanism. But as Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka, what kind of a leader was John Pombe Magufuli?
Well, as I told you, he's hands-on kind of a leader, because I think occasionally he did not tolerate corruption, that's for sure. And I think he would go down to the region. Sometimes he would publicly even point out corrupt officials and dismiss them on the spot. Perhaps that could have been criticized by others who believe in due process. But he did not have patience at all when it came to often public officials who showed laxity in their performance of duty. And so we celebrate him in that regard. Absolutely zero tolerance on corruption. Of course, he had his shortcomings as well, because a lot of people felt concerned, in particular after the last general election, when international observers, I think, had issues. But he, you can see, was able to hold the country together with a leading CCM, literally to obliterate opposition. I think that personally I thought he could have allowed a few opposition MPs, legislators. I think there are only one or two survivors. But that shows you he had hands-on. Na Watanzania walikuwa na imani kabisa na ndugu huyu John Pombe Magufuli.
All right, and you know, this is such a difficult time in terms of transition of leadership, with the vice president expected to take over for the remaining time. But what sort of a message would you like to tell, and especially the opposition leaders? Some of them are not even in Tanzania during this time, to also mourn, you know, the leader of that country.
I think the country, first and foremost, should get together. Tanzanians are known as neighbors who uphold seriously national cohesion. They are very cohesive, and they are not known for violence. And so we would want to urge that they stick together. Opposition and CCM, all of them stick together and give our brother a befitting send-off. And also support Mama Samia Suluhu. The name is good. I like the name Suluhu. Kuna suluhu ya kusuluhisha mambo mengi Tanzania. Na sio tu kwa Tanzania, bali pia kwa eneo letu hili la Afrika Mashariki. So I want to call on them to hold together. To hold together when sudden, when countries lose their leaders suddenly, like happened in the case of President Magufuli. Of course, there are lots of feelings that run deep. And there are others who may feel that the country should go in a certain way, others feeling perhaps should it have been the vice president or sit the prime minister or something. This is a time for them to hold together and follow what the Constitution itself provides and hold the country together. Right. There will be time, of course, to have free and fair elections, hopefully. I've not looked at the Tanzanian Constitution to see what it says with regard to the period it takes to hold another general election. Right. But I want to urge our brothers and sisters in Tanzania to hold together, to keep together, make not only Tanzanians proud, but the whole of the East African region and the continent of Africa.
All right.
It is a time to show that African leaders can also hold together. Indeed, as President Uhuru describes him as a Pan-Africanist leader, we Tanzanians have always been in the forefront since the days of Mwalimu Nyerere and during the frontline states, and that, of course, was the precursor to present-day SADC, when Tanzania felt that until the entire African continent was liberated, Tanzanians themselves were not free.
All right. Thank you so much, Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka, Wiper Party leader, who's also the former Vice President of the Republic of Kenya, for joining us this morning, talking to us about, his message to Tanzanians, asking Tanzanians to remain united during this